myself Ashwin Krishna, and I will be taking a lesson or I will be giving a brief discussion on the topic of the pathway of food through digestive system. Okay, so I'm not expecting an answer from you, but still, if you are hearing, then imagine when the process of digestion starts. When do you think the process of digestion starts? Okay, imagine an answer and uh, consider whether this answer is right with my answer. So according to me, the process of digestion starts as soon as when you get the sense of food. Like when somebody is cooking somewhere nearby house and you are getting the smell. At that moment, what happens? Salivation starts. So according to me, when you get the first sense of food, the process of digestion starts. The first process of digestion is salivation. So today's my topic is the pathway of food through digestive system. So this comes under the subject anatomy and physiology, which is anatomy means the study of structure of human body and physiology is the functional study. So what is digestion? The digestion is a process of breaking down of bigger molecules. Bigger food molecules are broken down into smaller substance so that the body can easily digest it and absorb. You know, the food contains various nutrition, vitamins and other substance. So the our body can absorb that easily. When this food remains in the bigger molecules, it is unable for the body to absorb that. So through the process of digestion, the food is broken down into smaller and smaller substance so that we can easily absorb it. So the absorption is done by the small intestine, and the absorbed particle is carried to the body through the bloodstream. So as to when we imagine about the digestive system, which is that body part which where the digestion starts. So the first body part where the digestion starts is our mouth itself. So what happens in the mouth? Our mouth contains tongue and teeth and also saliva. So what is the role of teeth in that? The teeth what they do? It is the main role is done by the teeth. The bigger with the process of churning. The process is called churning. Through that, the food molecules are broken down into smaller substance and they are mixed well with the saliva produced by our salivary glands with the help of tongue. Okay, our teeth contains how many types of teeth? There are 4 types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars and molars. You can see the image. Okay, incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So in the molars play the main role of churning the food. Okay, and the incisors and canine helps in biting the food, breaking the food into pieces. Okay, so there's a dental formula. As you know, there are 32 teeth. You know that there are in an adult, fully grown adult, there are 32 pair of teeth. 32 teeth overall. So the formula is of one. We have two ranges, that is maxilla and mandible. In mandible, 1/2 contains 2, 1, 2, 3, one pair of incisors, 1 canine, 1 pair of premolars and 3 molars. So this is the dental formula. So the main role of the teeth is breaking the food or churning. So and the main role of the tongue is to mix the food with the saliva, and this process of saliva and mixing the food is known as mastication. MASTICATION, mastication. Okay, so what does the tongue do? The tongue mixes the food with the saliva and makes it into a shape of bolus, BOLUS. It's like a spherical shape, like a spear. See, so the tongue makes the food into a spear shape like this, and then it is sent to the esophagus. Okay, so before esophagus there is a place called pharynx. The pharynx is a place where both food pipe and windpipe meet. There's a junction where food pipe bhi rehta hai, windpipe bhi rehta hai. So there's a problem if the food enters into the windpipe. It will be difficult. If by mistake the food enters into the windpipe, our airway is blocked. the through way through which we take the breath, it will be blocked. So what does that do? There's a specialized flap called epiglottis. Epiglottis. What does they do? It covers the windpipe. It is a flap which covers the windpipe and allows the entry of food into the esophagus. Okay, esophagus is a long tube-like structure. Okay, what does it do? It helps in the movement of food to the stomach. So esophagus, there are there are muscular wall which helps in produce a movement called wave-like contraction and expansion. The walls of esophagus, what they do, they contract and expand, and this process is called peristalsis. Peristalsis. In the last you can see. So through this peristalsis, the food is sent to the stomach. Okay, the food is sent to the stomach. So now the food reach where? Stomach. So in the stomach is divided into 3 parts. Anybody know the name? Just imagine. So the stomach contains 3 parts, that are fundus, body, and pyloric. These are the 3 areas of the stomach. Fundus, F-U-N-D-U-S, fundus, B-O-D-Y, body, and pyloric. So these are the 3 walls, 3 areas of the stomach. The main role of the stomach is mix the food well with the digestive enzymes. There are various digestive enzymes in the powerful digestive enzymes in the stomach. The stomach walls, what they do, they mix the food well with the digestive enzymes so that various chemical reactions take place. And inside the stomach, there is a presence of concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated HCl. So it do various functions, like it also helps in killing the microorganisms, bacteria. If something is there, it gets killed in the stomach. Okay, and it also helps in activating pepsin. The pepsin is an enzyme which gets activated by the presence of concentrated HCl. Okay, so concentrated HCl is a highly reactive gas. So you might be thinking, if the HCl is present in the stomach, if the HCl falls in our skin, do you know what happens? Our skin gets burned. We will get a burning sensation in the skin. So you should think, if the HCl is present in our stomach, why it is not harming our stomach? So to avoid this, there is a mucus coating in the inner lining of stomach, mucus coating, which helps in the which keeps the stomach non-reacted to the concentrated HCl. Okay, and okay, the partially digested food in the stomach is called chyme. The food stays in the stomach for about 30 minutes to 1 hour or more. So this partially digested food is called chyme, CHYME. Okay, so the main role of the stomach is to break down the to make the food mix well with the the enzymes. Okay, the next comes when the food moves down from the stomach, it enters where? Small intestine. The small intestine contains three segments or 3 parts, that are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So what does the main role of small intestine do? Yeah, it helps in some chemical reaction, but the main role of small intestine is the absorption. In small intestine, there are finger-like projections called villi, V-I-L-L-I, villi. So what they do, they help in absorbing the various vitamins, minerals, and other components from the food and transport it through the bloodstream. So the small intestine also break down the food using the enzymes released by pancreas. Pancreas releases an enzyme called pancreatic juice, and bile is released from the liver. So the small intestine also do the task of breaking breaking down the food with the help of pancreatic juice and bile. Okay, and the duodenum part of the small intestine has the main function of breaking down the food, and the jejunum and ileum is responsible for digestion of, means absorption of the food. Means jejunum and ileum part contains this villi and microvilli, which helps in absorption of food. So through this process, like till small intestine, we came to know that there are various enzymes release. So the three main organ which is helps in the enzyme productions are liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Okay, liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. So liver, what does they do? It secrete an important substance called bile. Bile is one very important substance to process the blood coming from the small intestine and contains nutrients just absorbed. Okay, so bile also helps in the purification of blood. It is also done by bile, and it also helps in the emulsification of fat. The bigger fat globules are broken down into smaller fat globules with the help of bile juice. Okay, so where is this bile stored? Bile is produced by liver, but it is stored in gallbladder, Gall, gallbladder. So whenever this our stomach, a small intestine needs bile, the gallbladder through the bile duct is sent to the small intestine or stomach. So pancreas is a chief factory of digestive enzymes. There are various digestive enzymes are produced by pancreas. Okay, so these enzymes break down the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates like pepsin, pepsinogen, trypsin. These are produced by pancreas, or these are secreted by pancreas. So the gallbladder is a storage sac for excess bile. The excess bile is stored in the gallbladder. The bile serves for two main purposes. Bile serves for two main purposes. First, helps in the absorption of fat in the diet, and secondly, it carries the waste from liver that cannot go through the kidney. So bile, what it do? It helps in the digesting fat, and secondly, it carries waste from the liver that cannot go through the kidney. We know the kidney helps in the excretion process. Okay, the kidney plays a major role in the excretion process. The leftover waste which is present in the water is absorbed by the kidney, and those substances which the kidney cannot digest is digested by liver. Okay, so next after small intestine is a largest digestive tract organ, that is large intestine. If we say which is means comparing the length, the small intestine is way larger than large intestine lengthwise, but according to the breadth, the large intestine is bigger. Okay, so large intestine is a 5 to 7 foot long muscular tube. Small intestine is way bigger. Okay, it will be around 20 foot or 30 foot, but large intestine is 5 to 7 foot long muscular tube that connects small intestine to the rectum. There's an area called rectum through which our excreta comes out of our body. So large intestine connects our small intestine to that rectum. So the main role of large intestine is the absorption of water. Okay, so the food gets means the longer duration of the excreted or the roughage is stored in the large intestine. The large intestine contains three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. Okay, cecum, colon, and the rectum. So they helps in storing these excreta, and also they also helps in the absorption of water. The water gets mostly absorbed in the large intestine area. Okay, so okay, the descending colon, sigmoid colon connects to the rectum. The stool or the waste left over from the digestive process pass through the colon made by the peristalsis, the first in the liquid state and ultimately in the solid form. As the stool passes through the colon, any remaining water is absorbed. So throughout this movement of the leftover food through the large intestine, the water is continuously getting absorbed. Okay, the absorbed water is sent to the blood or various organs for their functions. So this is a brief description about the various organs involved in the digestion. So I will again summarize it. So the first comes the mouth. Before the mouth also this salivation starts, means it is not necessary that the food should be entering the mouth. Before the food entering the mouth also salivation will start. So what does the saliva do? With the help of teeth and tongue, the food gets broken down and it gets mixed with the saliva. Then it is sent into a bolus form through esophagus. Before esophagus there is a epiglottis which helps in the which prevents the entry of food into the windpipe. And in the esophagus, there is peristalsis, wave-like contraction and expansion. Through this peristalsis, the food reaches the stomach. Inside the stomach, there is concentrated HCl, which and various other enzymes which gets mixed with the stomach, and then the food stays in the stomach for quite some time, and various digestion process occurs. Then the food is sent to the small intestine. Inside the small intestine contains duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum part of the small intestine also helps in mixing the food with the pancreatic juice, bile, etc. And then comes the jejunum and ileum, where the food is getting absorbed. Food gets absorbed by villi, and after that comes the large intestine, where the majority of the water is being absorbed. So this is the summarization of the various organs involved in the digestive system. Hope you have understood. Okay, you can, if you have any doubts and queries, you can send your doubts in the comment section. Okay, so till the next video, bye bye.